Hello and good day. It is evening here in Pennsylvania. So whatever time of day it is for you, I wish you a good day. My cousin found and was able to get to me a plant that I wanted to add to my collection. So she asked me to make a video to show the plant off. So this plant is a philodendron, and I happen to have a couple philodendrons. They do well in my house. I'm not doing anything crazy, anything special. They just like the conditions that I have here. So I think going forward, I may even get a few more because, hey, it's working. It's good to have a plant that is happy. And if I can build on that instead of bringing the other plants that I'd struggle with, I'd say all the philodendrons are doing well with the exception of my two varicosum. They're a different story. So I'm just going to ask you to hang tight. I've actually got one here right at my shoulder, and I'm going to show you each one and just go over how they look and what I do, even though I think it's just they're growing nicely because they're happy where I have them. Let's check them out. Okay, so the first philodendron I'm gonna show is the one that's actually here behind me. It sits in the living room and it is just a few feet away from the window, as you can see. It was labeled as a Prince of Orange, and yes, she has the orange leaves. However, I'm not certain if this is a Prince of Orange or a Macaulay's Finale. So if any of you have an idea to give me direction on if this one's almost done. I'm not going to pick on it. It's going to do it on its own. So if any of you know if this is truly a Prince of Orange or if it's a Macaulay's Finale, please let me know. Oh, look, I have one back here. This one didn't make it. Nope. It tried to uncurl, didn't make it. I think the humidity, lack of humidity. And then down here you can see that there's a few more coming in. These plants know spring is here. It is March, and these plants know spring is here. That one made it. Now I have to see, and I have to get some water on these so that they can open up. And I'll take the stem off that one that didn't make it. There's actually two of them in this pot. There's number one on the left, and here on the right is number two. It does have some pretty nice leaves. The size is pretty big too, if you see my hand compared to the leaf. The second philodendron is my lemon lime. She is not as big as the other philodendron, but she was little when I got her. She actually came in the mail. I sent for, and you'll see she's got these beautiful green leaves. And then the new ones come in all limey. And then they do go into the darker shade of green. But it's nice to have the lemon lime color on them. And look, I've got it. Let me lift this pot. In a lemon lime pot. That leaf back there is an old leaf, and soon it will be a memory. But it gives me new leaves pretty regularly, so I'm not worried about that. And that's the newest leaf. And she sits right by the window, as you can see. The next philodendron is my golden goddess. That leaf there had some injury when I purchased her,
but I knew that. I didn't mind. She's actually a trending tropicals. I got this one at a big box store. I liked it because it reminds me of the lemon lime that it sits near, but the leaves stay a little more limey, a little more lemony. And they have this cool coloring. They're not real big. If you see my hand, they're right there side by side. It's not real big. That's okay though. I don't need every plant to be a big old plant. This one's trying to uncurl. I'll let it rest. And look at that. I've got Merlin here investigating. Hello, Merlin. I have not changed the dirt or the pot that it came in. I just left it as it was. This one's new. I believe it'll darken up some more. And even though this one has damage, it's still pretty in its coloring. And this one is the new one that my cousin was able to obtain and get to me. I believe this is a Royal Queen, which, let me see if I can get some of the flash off of there. It will deepen into a greenish purple depending on the maturity. And you see the stem, and it comes down into the middle. Let me try to put it so it doesn't glare, but you can see that middle stripe is purple as well. So this one will darken up. And there's another new one. I believe this was a cutting that they were able to get to grow. And you can see how the color's starting to change on that one. It's going more green. This one here is an old leaf. That's why it's turning that color. And that one there with the little purple hue in the middle. And this one did come bare root. So what I did is I use pre-made potting soil. And then I have it in a nursery pot. And then I put the nursery pot in the larger pot that I use to show off. The last philodendron that I have in the living room is my green leaf philodendron. I have had this since it was a 2-leaf cutting for many years. I have taken cuttings from this plant. I have gifted them. And at times I have neglected this plant so bad it dropped a lot of leaves. However, it continues to be good to me. Continues to grow. Continues to be beautiful and to be such an easy care plant. This plant I would recommend. This plant doesn't require a lot of your time, and it really just needs a decent spot. It's not by the window, it's actually at the back of my living room. So it just gets whatever light makes it to the back of the living room. I have it in a shallow pot with drainage. And then the hanger is like a hanging plant hanger, but since I have it just on the base, I just wrap up the vines because when they get too long, I don't want it to get stepped on. And you see it's by the vent. Like all the things against it. Poor light, by the draft. And it still does well. I'm going to actually move it over. I didn't realize how close to the vent it was. But it has done very well and continued to just be a joy and a focal point. Everyone that comes over and comes in the living room throughout the years has mentioned how pretty this plant is and how full. So this isn't all one. I believe these are maybe four long stems that I've just continued to wrap and wrap and wrap around. And you see, I've got a few that are going to be ready to wrap some more. So I would recommend this plant. And I have made my way upstairs to the philodendrons that I keep in the plant room. So I'm going to show you the philodendrons that I have up here. And I'm going to start at the corner. So here we go. This one is my philodendron Brazil. I have not had this one very long. That one was originally like that when I purchased it, but again, doesn't change it. It's beautiful. And you see all the different shades on there. I think it's pretty. This plant I had first seen, I want to say about a year ago. I didn't get it the day that I purchased it. I actually got a calathea instead, thinking, oh, I'll get it another day. And then I could not find it. I couldn't find this plant again until recently. And then this is the back. You can tell because it doesn't get a lot of light and everything's coming forward. Some are really light, like this one. Look at that one. And I like that one right there. Look how it's all swirled. And I don't know if I'll get it to grow up the macrame. We'll have to see. It did come in this pot. I got this one at a big box store. I gotta dust it. But it lives in the corner of this room on my macrame system. I've got all my ones up on macrames. Next to the Schefflera, similar color, but very different leaf. And very different growth pattern. This is one of my vines. My Schefflera is one of my trees. And I just really enjoy this one. Okay, I'm gonna hop over here to the case. I don't think I've actually shown you guys the full case. I will do that one day. But I want to show you one of my two Birkins that I have. So I got this little Birkin about a year ago through the mail, and it was tiny. It was maybe these leaves down there. No fenestrations because it is such a young plant. And at the time, a big Birkin was way too much money for me to pay for a plant. So I just went with the little one. I figured I'll watch her grow. I will see, as it develops. And I like that little planter I have it in. My little jewel bugs. I have it inside of a little plastic saucer so that it collects the water. And let me show you the other Birkin. This one's the bigger one that I got recently. Is my Birkin. It also came in this pot. Or I think it did. I might have traded it. But look at that. When it first came, it was so unhappy. It dropped a lot of leaves. Oh, and the leaves that it dropped were very, very variegated. It had all this beautiful striping on there, and they were much whiter. But it was just so unhappy when it came. Oh, but now you see this leaf here is the new one, and it's beautiful. So I'm looking forward to it.
continuing to grow. And continuing to give me these leaves. It's so pretty. So, so pretty. Oh, geez. Oh, Deja Vu. I couldn't think of her name. This is a Deja Vu Philodendron. I have her turned this way now so that you can see her. When I got her, she was tiny. I got her through the mail. Merlin, thank you. He does not mess with the plants until I am giving attention to the plants, and then he loves to see what I'm looking at. So that is the shape of these leaves. And you'll see there's a new one that's trying to get itself together there. And here we have my very, very sad Philodendron varicosums. I had got 2. This one, I'll put a picture of it. It didn't like my conditions from the day it got here. This poor thing, it literally, it crinkled. This poor philodendron crinkled the day it got here. It was already, so what I've done is I've just tried to support it the best I can. And we'll see. There's a lot of brown on there. Oh yeah, that's gone. That's gone. So we'll see. I'm hoping if I keep the root happy, it will eventually give me some growth. This leaf has hung in there, but as you can see, it's not the happiest. I'm hoping that the stem will survive because the leaf is just, I'm even supporting the poor leaf on my little support there. Just because it's just so floppy. It's just so sad, poor thing. I've been researching, and what I think I may do is pull both of them out of the mix and put them in moss, because I've seen a lot of people have success with that. And what I'm doing, which is what I do with all my other philodendrons, this did not like. I've been told multiple things. I was told first and foremost they don't like to be moved. These philodendron came from Latin America, so it was just rough on them. I'm trying to give them extra attention and, you know, checking on them more often than I do some of the other plants. Just hopeful that they will make it because they're gorgeous. It just doesn't look true to their form here today. But I'm hopeful because actually it is March, spring is coming. But it is March, so I'm hopeful not only that the Philodendron varicosum will recover and that they will thrive in my home the way that the other philodendrons have shown that they can do here. So I'm hopeful that they make it. I'm hopeful that they get accustomed and that they acclimate well, at least better than they have been so far. We'll see. But I'm hopeful because, like I said, the other philodendrons all are doing well. Just those poor 2 varicosum that came from so far, and they're just not at all happy. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully they'll recover. Hopefully they'll do better. And hopefully they'll be like the rest of the philodendrons that I've been able to acquire. And I'll keep you posted, especially because, let's say maybe tomorrow, I'll be able to put them into the sphagnum moss is what I'm hoping. I have it, so I just have to actually take time to get them in there and really do my research to make sure that what I'm doing to them is going to help them and not continue to stress them, because that's a problem. They're very stressed. So thank you for stopping. Thank you for watching. And I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day.